time for This Week on the Ice, and here are your hosts, Randy Preston and Carol McKee.
Good afternoon and welcome to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. I'm Randy Preston. I'm here with my friend Carol McKee. Carol, good to have you back in Sioux Falls.
It's great to be back home here at the Scheels IcePlex, my home away from home.
I think it's all of our home away from home, except for Brian here, who it's actually his home,
it
right?
Really is
it is. We've got a couch in the office now too, so that works.
Well, we're here with Brian Prisby, who is the manager of the Scheels IcePlex. Is that the official title?
General manager, same thing, yep.
All right, no problem. You just got done having a tremendous weekend here.
Yeah, we did. We had the first annual Icebreaker Squirt Tournament. We had 15 teams here, the biggest tournament Sioux Falls Flyers have ever hosted. A little bit easier to do when you have 3 sheets of ice versus 1.5 or 2 sheets. So it was a tremendous success. Teams from Sioux City, Des Moines, Aberdeen, Rapid City, Sioux Falls had 4 teams here. Just a good range of the Midwest coming. A lot of them for the first time to the Scheels IcePlex. So it was fun. Great weekend.
It was a great weekend.
15 teams. How many games played?
27 games in total.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a lot of volunteers from our association that stepped up and made it run pretty smooth, very smooth. Officials, you got to think of all the officials for 27 games. Scorekeepers, PA people. It went flawlessly.
That's
great
good.
start.
And considering that I wasn't here to do PA at all.
Well, I certainly didn't have your touch, that's for sure.
They tasked a lot of volunteers, and they stepped up to the plate.
They did a great job. Absolutely. That was fun. A lot of fun.
Well, you know, we talked to you about 2 months ago, as I recall, our first ever show that we did.
First ever.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of an update on how things are going here at the IcePlex, just in general.
Well, they're going, I think they're exceeding all expectations that really anybody would have. Each weekend we just get busier and busier. The parking lot gets more full and more full. People are coming up with some creative places to park. Not a bad problem to have when the parking lot's full. Certainly we know it's something that we have to address down the road, and we'll get there. But our open skate sessions have been continue to grow each weekend. Our stick and puck it's tapering down now that kids are into the hockey season, but still have a good turnout for that each time. And then just people coming and buying concessions and hanging out in the lobby and in the stands and just having fun watching hockey and figure skating and soon curling.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
It was really nice this weekend with all the tournament games going on, but there was still ice time for stick and puck, open skate. Saw some figure skaters here.
Right. Yeah. You know,
People were coming at everybody.
Yeah, that's one thing that we really are trying to do. You know, it's just not a hockey rink. We don't want to get pigeonholed into just being a hockey rink. And you know, we kept our open skate sessions throughout the weekend, our Friday night, our Saturday night, and our Saturday and Sunday. We're not going to get rid of those unless it's an absolute, huge tournament where we need all 3 sheets, which we might be having in March. But you know, the public's first. We don't want people coming out here to skate on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock and they've driven out here, found a parking spot, and get turned away because there's a game. So
they probably wouldn't find a parking spot.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So we're keeping those sessions going, and the public's coming out for each and every one of them. It's been fun.
That's great.
Yeah. The concession stands have been very busy this weekend.
Yeah, we each weekend we got to update, or I have to staff more and more just to try to keep the lines moving. But it's been good, really good.
Well, that's cool. Well, like I said, it just seems like this place is getting busier and busier. You already referred that. I saw I think it was a Facebook post from the Sioux Falls Flyers this week about the number of hours of ice time that they rented, and that it was a record amount of ice time that was rented by the Sioux Falls Flyers for a month.
Right.
And I don't remember the exact numbers.
Yeah, I think the actual Facebook post was the invoiced dollar amount for the month of December. I think Brian Corey threw it out there. He gave a multiple choice option, and the correct answer was $53,000 for ice time. But I want to, that sounds like a huge number, but the ice rate at the Scheels IcePlex is in comparison to really everywhere in the Midwest, and it's just a kind of a testament to the Sioux Falls Flyers just to give more ice time to all the users and a little bit less half ice. We'd always have to share ice, so now we're expanding our one team on one full sheet just to, that's a good way to practice because you play a game on a full sheet. Our teams have been so pigeonholed into playing half ice games because we always practice on half ice. Now our teams are getting more full ice practices to play the neutral zone. So that's been nice.
And I think you can see the difference in their play
Absolutely.
already in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, well, just the Pee Wee East A and Pee Wee West A just faced off here on the Furniture Mart rink after the tournament, and you can just see that level of hockey from when my boys played Pee Wees a few years ago. It just steps up. Kids are doing things that I haven't seen before, and it's a lot of it's because there's more ice time opportunities, and it's just going to continue to climb the ladder as we go along at this place.
So I haven't had a chance to ask Tanya yet, but have you guys booked your first wedding on the ice yet?
We had a couple that was interested. They decided not to, but we're certainly open for those. We'll have the South rink down probably April 1st, the Zoover Leadership rink. So it's a concrete floor with what we can do really whatever we want out there, and weddings is certainly an option. So we'll give it a try.
Well, I'm looking forward to that first hockey wedding here.
Yeah.
And speaking of these special events, you guys have some nice ideas for Christmas gifts for people here too, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got all kinds of punch passes, whether it's a open skate pass for youth or an adult, open hockey. And we just added not too long ago a family pass. So for $349, if you're a family that comes to our open skate sessions, comes to our stick and pucks and open hockey, just basically comes to the facility to do our programs, and say you have 5 kids in a family, it covers all 5. It includes as many immediate family members as you have. So if you have a big family and you're out here a lot, it's kind of a no-brainer. So then we have the individual passes for $225, and those are good for 1 year from the day that you buy. And then we have gift cards too that we can load for whatever amount you want. You can even keep it here because kids lose things, so they're easy to reload, and it's just a good way to send your kid to the rink with a debit card or a gift card, and instead of a wad of cash that will also get lost.
Yeah, well, and they can use that for skate time.
You can use it whatever you want. Yeah, it's just like a credit card, and you can run it through for your stick and puck, your open skate, and your hot dogs and walking tacos and ice cream and all that.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Really great. So what's up next here?
Well, tomorrow is the first day that the kids are out of school. I believe for sure the Sioux Falls Public. I'm not sure about the other schools, but I think they all are. So every day this week and every day next week we're going to have open skate sessions, stick and puck sessions, open hockey during the daytime hours when kids are being in school. So a good opportunity for kids to come out and get out of the house, and I'm sure after Christmas try out their new skates and sticks and helmets and all that. And just check the website. They vary from day to day, but it's all on the website when they'll be open. But every day, even Christmas Eve, I think 11 to 1 we're open, and then Christmas Day will be closed, but every other day will be.
You're open Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve from 11 to 1.
Okay.
Yep.
See, a lot of the rinks are going to be shut down on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we'll be open.
And you have, I think, Legend Hockey and Junior Stampede AAA are teaming up for a clinic.
Right, yep.
Right?
Matt Tobin's throwing a clinic together. His Junior Stampede team will be out there on the ice helping with it. It's for the younger kids, I think Adams, Mites, and Squirts, maybe Pee-wees too, but that's the
December 29th.
Yeah, it's the second. It's after Christmas and it's 3 days and it's only $50. It's a great deal if you're looking for a little extra hockey in a camp situation. 3 days for $50. That's a steal.
It is a steal.
There's also the Solar Bears, which is a summer team. They're having their tryouts here as well. I think on the 29th. Again, check the website for that. But the Solar Bears, who have multiple age groups of summer hockey, are having a tryout here at IcePlex, and they're probably going to have 3 tournaments here at the IcePlex this spring.
Outstanding.
So if you're looking for a little extra hockey after the Flyers, sign up with the Solar Bears.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
And then I think figure skating has an event coming up in January, don't they?
Figure skaters have an event in March, and then their big show is in May.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And when is the Mite tournament? Do you know?
The Might Freeze tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know that one off the top of my head. It's later in the year. I think it might even be February.
All right, cool. They moved that one back from that first weekend in January, which is always their traditional time.
Yeah, it could be, Randy. I'm not exactly sure the date on that one.
Hey, no
one
problem.
day at a time.
There you go. I appreciate that. Well, Brian, we want to thank you for coming and joining us today. I know you've been busy flying around here like crazy the last few days. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us.
Yeah, thank you, Randy. Thanks for you, Randy Preston, for your PA stuff that you do out here. He's a class act and adds a tremendous touch to the varsity games and all the other games that you do out here too. So we hope to keep coming.
These are Mr. Hockey.
That's right, absolutely.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break for one of our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Bargain Bites is a certified Microsoft refurbisher, and just look at the deals they can get you. They're having a Black Friday sale, but theirs is different from all the rest because their Black Friday sale runs every day through Christmas. Just look at this. You can get an HP EliteBook laptop for as little as $150, and that deal is good through Christmas, while supplies last. All their monitors and desktops are 15% off too, and you guessed it, that deal is good through Christmas. Just look at these deals. Laptops, desktops, and towers as low as $100. Flat screen monitors as low as $25. They have flat screen TVs, check for pricing. Video cards, sound cards, memory, motherboards as low as $15. Check them out for printers, stereo receivers, cell phones, wireless routers, speakers, and projectors. Call for pricing or come to the store to see these great deals for yourself. Oh, and did you know they have a YouTube channel with lots of great information for you? They even have a tech guru. Subscribe today. Bargain Bites. They're on 48th Street North, just north of Benson Road by the airport. Check them out online at bargainbites.net.
Welcome back to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. I'm here with Carol McKee. My name's Randy Preston, and we're going to step right into our youth hockey report for the week.
Oh, and there's a lot happening in youth hockey as always.
I can't imagine.
We'll give a quick rundown of what's happening before we go on and talk about varsity and JV girls and boys. Up in Aberdeen, they have alumni games scheduled for this coming Tuesday, the 23rd.
That sounds like fun.
Doesn't that sound like a great time to come back for Christmas? They're going to have girls varsity will play the alums at 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. Then their boys JV will play the alumni JV at around 7:15, and the boys varsity will take on the boys alumni varsity at 8:30. So that'll be a fun time for everybody.
Yeah,
a little exercise before you eat all the Christmas dinner. And of course, Aberdeen Hockey Association, as we've reported the last couple of weeks, they're looking for an executive director. To the best of our knowledge, they're still looking. If you love hockey, if you have good communication and marketing skills, and you would like to have a little bit of income coming in from your love of hockey, it's a decent salary for what they're looking for.
Well, it sounds like a great opportunity for somebody who's looking to manage an association. You know, it's a very unique opportunity.
Well, if I were in Aberdeen, I tell you, I'd have to take a look at it.
Sure. I know I would.
Anyway, you can get more info on AberdeenHockey.com website. Coming up for Aberdeen Cougars, the first annual Lady Cougar Classic is January 2nd through the 4th. And they will have a smartphone tourney program for the event. I really would have liked to have had that this weekend. I kept having my papers there for the tournament with my rosters so that I could announce when I was live streaming who was scoring the goals, but people kept coming up and I'm busy videoing, and they'd walk away on me. So I don't think they would have walked away with my smartphone, but it was in my pocket. So, anyway, for more information about the first annual Lady Cougar Classic, you can go, more information about that tournament, you can go to AberdeenHockey.com.
Okay.
Over in Brookings, the Brookings Rangers, there's always a lot happening over
at the Larson? At
the Larson, yes, definitely. This weekend they hosted their Junior Gold Tournament. Hockey 605 was there. We were live streaming several of the games.
Okay.
We had out-of-state teams at the tournament from the Blaine Ice Dogs were there, the Delano Tigers, the Des Moines Junior Bucks, and the St. Michael Albertville Knights. Now, I'm not sure where the St. Michael Albertville Knights are from.
Yeah, that's northwest Minneapolis area. Yeah.
Well, those out-of-state teams were there, giving the Aberdeen Cougars, the Sioux Falls Flyers, and the Brookings Rangers some different competition for the weekend.
Okay, and for the Junior Gold B, just for anybody who doesn't know, that's a level that they play for USA Hockey up in Minnesota. Very typically, and all around the country for that matter. Junior Gold A is roughly equivalent to our South Dakota Amateur Hockey Boys Varsity, and Junior Gold B is roughly equivalent to the Junior Varsity.
Thank you. I wasn't quite sure about that.
No problem.
And I didn't get a chance to go over there because I was enjoying hockey here. Anyway, in the championship over there this weekend today, St. Michael defeated Aberdeen 2-1. We do have those games up on Hockey 605 TV, so you can check them out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Rangers will host a mite tournament the weekend of January 16th through the 18th, and they'll host a termite tournament on January 31st.
A termite tournament. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. I love watching the really young kids play. It's such a hoot, and many times it's actually some pretty good hockey. But
well, they're so creative at that young age.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It is fun. I wasn't able to find out if that's just an in-house tournament or if it's open. But if you want to know more information, you can go to brookingsrangers.com to register, and they have a whole tournament section there. And of course, all of their tournaments are on visahockey.com.
Right.
They have a tournament program on the smartphone, so those are really nice to have. And let's go over to Huron. You already went to Huron.
I went to Huron. I spent all day yesterday in Huron. I had the privilege of attending 4 games there yesterday with my son, who was actually officiating 4 games there. So I drove him over, dropped him off, went out and did some work for a couple of hours, then came back and watched 4 hockey games.
Oh, fun.
And actually got to announce one of the hockey games.
Well, I was going to say, how can you go to a hockey game without getting pressed into service?
Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was a good time. I got a lot of compliments about it, but they asked when they heard who I was. They asked if I wanted to PA one of the games for them. And I said sure, and they gave me a list of ones. I said, oh, come on, I got to do the Pee Wee game. I'm going to do the youngest kids.
Yeah.
They got it, and they had a hoot. It was a really good time.
How much fun was that? Yeah. Now, do you carry your equipment with you when you go and your music?
No, I didn't. I was relying on their program, but it was, I just lent my voice and had a good time.
Oh, I bet it was. I would have liked to have been there. Well, I was on the website. We get most of our information from the websites of the different associations and from their Facebook pages. And the Huron All-Stars, I'm sure would like us to send a shout out and a thank you to Northwestern Energy for donating jerseys, brand new jerseys for their Mites team, Huron Mite team, and to the United Way for helping them buy new helmets.
Perfect.
So, without the support of these businesses, United Way, Northwestern, other groups, a lot of the hockey that happens wouldn't be possible.
Exactly.
So, kudos to them. Over in Mitchell, we took a look at the Mitchell Marlins site, and one of the things I wanted to share with everyone, if you don't have a good concussion management protocol for your program and for your association, take a look at Mitchell Marlins' concussion management plan on their website.
Yeah.
It is a very useful tool, and there's no sense in reinventing the wheel when someone has a good one in place.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all know how important it is to manage those concussions properly.
Yeah, it's we don't know what's going to happen to the brain.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Got some visitors here.
There we go.
Over at Oahe Capitals.
Yes.
I checked their site, both the website and the Facebook page. The Oahe Capitals are offering authentic Capitals jerseys for sale.
Oh, that sounds like
You're
fun.
going to want to listen close to this.
Okay.
Former game-worn jerseys with a number are available for just $5.
$5.
$5. They have new blank jerseys without a number, so you can put your own number. Mine, of course, is 605.
Yeah.
For just $10.
Wow.
I know.
What a great deal.
They list them as stocking stuffers. I list them as what I would call a Scott's Christmas gift.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially if you happen to play for the Capitals and you happen to have an aunt who is a huge hockey fan.
Is this
Wyatt,
a hint?
Trey,
Is this a hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me say that again. If you happen to have an aunt who loves hockey and you play for the Capitals, that would make a great stocking stuffer of Christmas under the tree.
So I guess the moral of the story is, please buy Aunt Carol a hockey jersey.
Oh, well, where did you write everything?
I don't know.
That idea?
I'm sorry.
You can contact Sandy Zimmerman at the Oahe Capitals through their website, oahehockey.org, to get your jerseys in time for Christmas. Rushmore Thunder, I was out there last week and missed being here, but I enjoyed being at the Thunderdome for some great hockey.
Yeah, they've got an interesting facility out there, and I hear they had some issues with the compressor.
Yes.
Was that the case?
Yes, the compressor went out on Sunday, and they were able to get through most of the games. They did not have their 2 bantam teams play each other.
Okay.
And they were frantically on the phone calling that 5-state region, attempting to locate replacement parts. And from what I understood, they expected the cost to be about $20,000.
Ouch.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to give kudos to Ted Schultz and to the volunteer folks there at the Thunderdome. They got everything back up and operating quickly enough that the ice was usable again on Tuesday.
Oh, that's great.
So fortunately, Mother Nature cooperated with them. They opened the doors on Sunday night and got some freezing temperatures that were helpful for them.
Right. And so I suppose if there is somebody out there who's feeling like they could help help pay for that through a donation, just contact Rushmore Hockey.
Yes.
I'm sure they'd be happy to accept any donation for the assistance on that. It's kind of tough at an association-owned rink when something like that happens.
It really is. They don't have the government support and backing for their rink that a lot of other communities might have with city support. And you can contact them through the RushmoreThunder.com website.
Okay.
Also, Thunder have a Bantam tournament coming up, January 2nd through the 4th.
Okay.
If you want to register your team, or if you want more information about that tournament, you can go to RushmoreThunder.com website and contact John Humke.
Okay.
That's John Humke, Humke. Just click on the tournament link for John's contact information.
Very good.
Sioux Center. Sioux Center's hosting a Sport BC tournament.
Okay.
January 10th through the 11th.
That sounds like a good time.
It is. I've been to their rink last year. They had the Squirt State tournament last year.
Yes, they did.
Great time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is a wonderful facility for a small town.
It is.
It's really nice.
That again is January 10th through the 11th. They have an 8-team limit. If you're interested in registering your team, you can get in touch with them right away if there's still spots available. Go to that thing called the interweb. The interweb at tornadoshockey.com. That's tornadoes with an ES.
Yes.
Next up I have on my report.
That would be the Sioux Falls?
The Sioux Falls. And I put that to the end here because I was here this weekend for their first ever tournament here at the IcePlex. And of course Brian Frisbee talked about it at the top of the show. But it was great to be here, and sports is where I cut my teeth on videoing games.
Yes.
And you know, I have become a much better watcher of games by videoing them because you really have to focus on that puck. I was a little dismayed when I came to my first hockey game that there's not a streak that follows that puck. You know, I was looking for the streak. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, not so much.
Well, once you start videoing, you can start to see that little streak there. So, it was a lot of fun. They had 15 teams, as Brian mentioned, competing this weekend in their Icebreaker Squirt BC tournament. It started on Friday night. Rushmore Thunder and Sioux Falls Flyers each had 2 teams in the B division. There are teams from the Sioux Center Tornadoes, the Mitchell Marlins, the Des Moines Junior Bucks, my first opportunity to visit with them, and the Oahe Capitals.
Very good.
Sioux Falls Orange defeated the Oahe Capitals 6-1 in the championship match. But there was some great competition on Friday night and Saturday in the B division.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, then we have the C division.
Yes.
Today I was covering the C division. We were live streaming quite a few of the games, Randy. I know once in a while we did lose our signal. There were a lot of people here tapping into the Wi-Fi, and I wanted to go and take everybody's phones away, but they wouldn't let me do that.
Good luck with that.
Brian is just too nice. He just said, no, you can't do that. But in the C division, the Mitchell Marlins and the Sioux Falls Flyers each had 2 teams as well. The Aberdeen Cougars, the Sioux City Musketeers, another new team that I hadn't met before, and the Sioux Center Tornadoes had teams. The championship in the C today was very close for the first 2.5 periods, and then the Sioux City Musketeers, about midway through the 3rd period, started to pull ahead, and they defeated the Sioux Falls Flyers Black by a score of 7-3. But again, excellent hockey.
Well, and here's an interesting piece of trivia for you, and that's kind of all it is. One of the largest tournaments in the country is in Fargo every March, and it's the Squirt. It's a squirt tournament.
It's a squirt tournament.
And they bring in usually around 150 teams.
Wow.
For about 6 days of hockey. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. And, you know, what can you say? It's just the Squirt International. Teams from all over the country, Canada, Alaska, they all fly to Fargo to play a weekend of hockey. It's a good time.
And when is that? March?
That's in March.
Okay, about the same time we're probably doing varsity.
Yeah, it's usually right during about that same time as the JV or varsity state tournaments.
Okay,
well, it's a good time.
Maybe we can make part of it. We'll have to check the schedule.
Yeah, all right. Should we take a quick break for our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Hockey Headquarters, assisting all your goals. Visit them today at thehockeyheadquarters.com.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. Randy Preston here with Carol McKee, and we're done with our youth hockey part of our program, and now we're getting into our varsity.
Yes.
Got a lot of action in South Dakota this weekend. We're going to start with the girls junior varsity.
Sounds good.
And just to recap the games very quickly, and then Carol, you'll talk a little bit about the stats on each one of these sections so far.
I love the numbers.
I do too. I absolutely do. All right, so starting on Friday night, up in Watertown, the Sioux Falls Flyers girls junior varsity played the Watertown Lakers.
Okay.
And Sioux Falls did win that game 3-1. So Sioux Falls Flyers seem to have things moving in their JV very nicely. Moving on out to Oahe, Brookings girls JV took on the Oahe Caps ladies. 12-0 win for the Brookings Lady Rangers.
They are on fire this year.
They are. They've got a great team, as they typically do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can always count on quality teams from the Rangers.
Yes, absolutely. Moving on, also on Saturday, then in Mitchell, Yankton Marlins took on the Yankton Miracle took on the Mitchell Marlins. Except I think at the JV level, it's the Yankton Bucks. Yes, it's
they call them the Bucks?
The Bucks
okay.
are the JV and varsity. So the Yankton Bucks took on the Mitchell Marlins. These abbreviations on the website are just awful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get a little confused by them frequently.
Anyway, in Mitchell, girls JV did win that game 8-0. So another, sound defeat.
Yeah.
But the good news is that Yankton is coming along. They're really improving their programs as we speak.
Now, are the Yankton girls are probably the Gazelles then?
They could be.
Because the high school teams for other sports are Bucks and Gazelles. In case we got it wrong, that's a little...
I'm sure I'll hear. I've got friends down in Yankton that'll call and tell me about it.
We'll just call them Yankton. How about that?
There, that works too.
I like Miracle though. That's pretty good.
Then back again this morning in Mitchell, Aberdeen Cougars. The Lady Cougars came down and played the Marlins, Lady Marlins. Cougars with the win, 3-1.
Another team that's having a fantastic season.
They're
already.
having a great season. They're having a great season up there. And then finally, the last girls junior varsity game of the weekend took place today down in Sioux Center. And the Watertown Lakers, Lady Lakers, did win that game 6-1.
Okay.
Once again, a relatively infant program down there in Sioux Center. They are coming along. They're getting better and better all the time. The Yankton and Sioux Center, kind of my two hobby, associations. I just love watching what's going on with them.
They're a little isolated from everybody else.
Right.
But they always have put out competitive teams and work their way toward it.
Absolutely.
And they really work on the development side.
Yes, they do. They spend a lot of effort on that. Mostly because they need to, because they've got kids on those teams who don't have 7, 10, 15 years of experience skating, because they're such new associations.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of it there.
Yeah, they are. They are.
So,
Stats.
Let's talk about the Mitchell Marlins girls JV. They are leading the pack right now.
Okay.
They have 10 points. The Lady Marlins are 5-2 in their first 7 games of the season. Not too shabby.
Not bad at all.
And we talked about the Aberdeen girls JV. They're close on their heels with 8 points. They have a 4-0 record.
Okay.
And Lady Cougars Shelby Snow is off to a great start in the goal, leading the girls JV goalie stats with a 98.5 or .985 save percentage, they call it. And she's followed closely by the Marlins, Caitlin, I think it's Vithoven?
It's Eitoven.
Eitoven, okay. I can never remember how to pronounce that.
I think.
But Marlins goalie Caitlin has a .929 save percentage.
Okay.
Great save percentage there. And for the skaters in the girls JV, Mitchell's Ashley Jones is at the top of the heap. She has 11 points. And she's followed up by Aberdeen's Caitlin Holland, who is tied with Brookings' Carly Crew. Another solid team. You hear Mitchell, Aberdeen, Brookings are all really doing well. But Caitlin and Carly both have 10 points each. So those are some great stats for those JV teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you've got 3 very traditional, strong girls programs with Brookings, Aberdeen, and Mitchell.
Yeah.
So nothing surprising.
And we've got some other good teams that we're looking to see more and more better things, greater things from them this season.
Certainly.
So.
Well, let's move on to girls varsity.
That's one of the fun things of doing this.
It is so great.
We have hockey players that are busy looking to get on the ice.
They're running.
They're running. Head down.
And we're more concerned about them cutting cables than we are anything else.
Yeah. Cutting cables or tripping over a cable.
There you go. All right, so let's talk girls varsity. There were quite a few games in girls varsity over the weekend, starting on Friday night in Huron. The Huron All-Stars did a 3-game weekend with the Rushmore Thunder.
Oh, okay. Rushmore always does a 3-game weekend.
Yes. So they played a game on Friday night, they played a game on Saturday night, and they played a game this afternoon over at the Bergman Arena in Huron.
Okay.
Yes. So starting on Friday night, Rushmore Thunder, final score, Rushmore Thunder 9, Huron Girls 2.
Okay.
On Saturday, in the game that I saw, it was even more of a blowout. It was 12-2 Rushmore. And I know they had a game this afternoon, a little bit tighter game today, 6-2.
Okay.
But, you know, Rushmore did get a sweep on the weekend, and really no surprise there. The Huron team is quite young this year. They have a very young goaltender, and that's to be expected.
And I was out in Rapid City last weekend for the Thunder games there when they hosted the Oahe Lady Capitals, and they had a sweep that weekend, last weekend too.
So it's looking like the Rushmore team is going to be a strong, very, very strong girls varsity team this year. In other action around the state, Saturday in Oahe, Brookings girls varsity taking on the Oahe Caps. 11-1, Brookings wins. And in Mitchell, the Aberdeen ladies taking on the Mitchell Marlins. 7-0 win by Aberdeen. So there were two of our higher-end players or higher-end teams that were out there. Really nice win for the Aberdeen Cougars.
Well, you know, the Cougars started off their season, ended last season on a high note, and they have high expectations for themselves this year.
Yes, they do.
It's obvious in their play.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then in the rematch today, the Lady Cougars won that game 7-1 against the Marlins. Okay. So another victory for the Cougars. And then we went to Oahe again today, another rematch. The Brookings Lady Rangers taking on the Oahe Lady Caps. 4-1 win for Brookings. And that's all of the games in the girls varsity over the weekend. There are quite a few though.
Yeah, but there's still lots more to be played this season.
There sure are, and it's a great girls hockey season. Oh. They're a lot of fun to watch.
I can't wait to get out to see more of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I enjoyed covering the Skirts this weekend. Okay, my heart kind of belongs to the girls' JV and varsity.
Absolutely.
But on the varsity side, the Brookings Rangers have racked up 14 points with 7 straight wins and no losses to lead the leaderboard. They're in top of the standings. And there's a tie right now for second with both Aberdeen Lady Cougars and Rushmore Thunder having 12 points each on 6 consecutive wins for both, no losses.
Wow.
Aberdeen's varsity goalie has allowed just 6 goals in 6 games for a save percentage of .937. And Rushmore's, talking about how solid they are this year, Anna Veazey, we got to watch her a lot last year. She's not far behind with a .935 save percentage. So a couple of top-notch goalies.
Yeah, and a shout out to the Aberdeen ladies goaltender Haley Huff. Haley is just incredible. So.
Well, we're going to be blessed to see some really good female goalkeepers, goaltenders there. The Sioux Falls Flyers on the skating side of it, Robin Hatcher maintains her hold, little Hatcher, at the top of the skater stats leaderboard. She's got 21 points. Hard on her heels, though, are Aberdeen's Haley Holland and Brookings' Bethany Rennick. They both have 20 points, so they're pressing to take that spot away from Robin Hatcher. But I got a feeling Hatcher's going to do everything she can to hold that spot.
I believe that you're probably right.
She's a competitor.
Bit of a pistol.
A bit of a pistol. We love a pistol.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, moving on to boys junior varsity. Another great weekend around the state. Boys junior varsity hockey. Game started on Saturday. First game was down in Yankton.
Okay.
against the Huron All-Stars. The All-Stars did take that game 6-0. And then we move up to Watertown, Oahe Caps and Watertown Lakers boys junior varsity. 5-0, Oahe Caps with the win.
They got a solid team there.
They do. Down in Sioux Center this morning, Watertown taking on the Sioux Center JV. 9-4 victory for Sioux Center. So Sioux Center JV,
coming on.
They're coming on.
They're coming on.
They're coming on. And that was all in JV this weekend. A lot of girls action this weekend, not a lot of boys action, but those 3 games, kind of interesting stuff.
Do you think maybe the boys JV action was down a little because of the junior gold tournament?
Yes, absolutely.
So they all got some games in too. Just was not a part of the regular JV season roster.
That's for sure.
On the stat side, on the boys JV, the Brookings Rangers are narrowly leading the standings with 6 points to the Sioux Falls Flyers 5 points. Not much of a difference there.
Not much of a difference, although the Brookings, the Sioux Falls Flyers do have two more games than the Brookings team does. So, you know, it's a little misleading at this point.
Yeah, you have to look at all the stats.
Yeah.
Rather than just the numbers. Then there's a 4-way tie for third.
Yes.
With Rushmore, Aberdeen, Huron, and Oahe each with 4 points.
Yes.
For the boys,
muck in the middle.
Yeah, and you know what? The goalie stats, I think, it's premature to talk about those because you can have a 100% save percentage, but only have served and played in one game.
Played in one game, yeah.
So I think we don't want to even touch those right now until we get a little bit more.
Yeah, let's get a few more games under our belt in boys JV, and then we'll start talking goalie stats.
But skater stats we can talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Johnny Hockett for the Rangers leads the boys JV skater stats with 11 points. And then tied behind him for second are 2 Oahe players, Zach Fendrick and Drew Norwick with 8 points each. So the Oahe Capitals are a good solid team.
Yeah, they are, and they
fun to watch them play when they play Brookings.
They've got a great program. Both those associations do. Yeah. On to boys varsity, and the first game on the weekend was actually not on the weekend. It was Thursday night up in Brookings. I did get a chance to go up and see that game. The Sioux Falls Flyers blue team taking on the Brookings Rangers.
I did find out about that game. Hadn't checked the schedule, wasn't expecting it. So I got a tweet that came out about 15 minutes before it started. So I went ahead and retweeted it. Thought if I get there, it would be a bit of a problem.
It was an interesting game. I'm going to call it a bit erratic. Brookings looked like Brookings teams of old. They were skating, they had flow. They had, I believe the number was over 30 shots on goal on the night. Sioux Falls managed only 13 shots on goal on the night, but they took advantage of those 13 shots. Final score for the evening was the Sioux Falls Flyers 3, Brookings Rangers 2.
Oh, what a game.
Yeah, what a game. I want to give a big shout out to the Sioux Falls Flyers goaltender, who was absolutely incredible in goal. And it was just a very, very interesting night. Like I said, the game was kind of erratic. It was a lot of penalties, just not a lot of flow. But you know, Donovan Knott in goal did. I mean, let's face it, stopped all but 2 shots out of 30. He had a really, really good game.
Obviously.
All right, so on to additional boys varsity games around the state this weekend. Moving on to Saturday in Yankton, the Huron All-Stars Yankton Miracle. The All-Stars did win that game 7-3.
Okay.
But you know, you're looking at Yankton, who their first year in boys varsity, and not a bad showing.
They're getting goals.
They are getting some goals. Out in Rushmore on Saturday, Mitchell Marlin's boys varsity taking on the Rushmore Thunder. 10-5 Rushmore victory. So once again, a lot of scoring in that game. Seems to be the pattern here.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of goals. On Saturday out in Watertown, a very, very close game against the Oahe Caps. Watertown Lakers 5, Oahe Caps 4.
Ooh, high scoring and close.
And Oahe takes their first loss on the season.
Yeah, they did.
So very interesting game. I'm sure I wish I could have been there to see that one.
Me too. That's a crowd pleaser when you get a lot of goals and it's close.
In in Rushmore, again starting on Sunday morning. Rushmore Thunder boys varsity taking on Mitchell for the rematch of the game the previous day. Not even close this time. 14-5. Rushmore Thunder takes that victory.
Wow.
And then we had a game in progress here. I'm going to refresh my screen and see if it's done. It is not as of yet, but it is Sioux Falls Flyers boys varsity 1 over in Huron. And Flyers varsity 1 is leading with 8 minutes left in the second period. 6-1.
Okay.
So, you know, they still got to play the game yet, but it's
a period and a half left.
Yeah.
That's a nice, comfortable margin.
It is. It is. So on to the stats. Lots of good stuff.
Okay. Well, last year's boys champions, varsity champions, the Rushmore Thunder. They're currently tied with the Oahe Capitals at the top of the standings with 8 points each. The Thunder are 4-0. And of course, with the Caps having that one loss, the Thunder are ahead of the Caps now.
Yes.
But following closely behind them is the Sioux Falls Flyers 1 team. And they have 7 points, just a 1 point difference there.
And should they win that game today, then the Sioux Falls Flyers will leap up to first place. But they'll have a couple games in hand with those other two teams. So once again,
it's early, but it's still fun to talk numbers.
It is. It is.
And of course, our Aberdeen goaltender, Gus Kronberg, he's still holding on to that top spot on the goalie stats. He has a .938 save percentage. Gus has allowed just 7 goals this season. And it's the fewest total goals in the boys varsity league.
Amazing.
And then for the skater stats, Rushmore's Anthony Petrato. You got to see Anthony play?
I did. I've seen him play before. He's an incredible player.
He is. He tops the skater stats leaderboard with 20 points. But Oahe's Landon Badger, Randy got to see last weekend. Landon Badger with 19 points is knocking hard on that door.
Yeah.
And so is Rushmore's Jack Oberg. He has 18 points. And TJ Nolan from Rushmore also has 17 points. So there's not a lot of separation there in those top
and then
spots.
Brooks Mitzel's right behind TJ.
Brooks Mitzel's in there too.
So Rushmore Thunder have 4 out of the top 5 scorers in the state league right now.
Yeah, they're on fire. They're looking to defend that state championship.
They are.
They got some great things happening out there. So that's what I have for stats for the varsity and JV.
Well, and once again, we've got a great little bit of a Christmas break happening right now. There will be hockey action this next week, and lots of hockey action this next week. I know that there's kind of games all over the place as I was looking at the schedule, but we'll be covering it all next weekend.
Yes. Well, happy hockey days.
There you go. Let's take another quick break before we move on to junior hockey for a word from one of our sponsors.
This is a story about evolution, specifically about the evolution of hockey. Everything has changed in hockey. Just look at the progression in the art of building a skate. And the safety of the goalies? Unbelievable evolution there. How about sticks? From the very crude to space-age composites. Player safety gear? Wow, incredible progress. Even the venues have evolved. Everything has evolved except the way we get information to tournament visitors. The tournament program has been largely unevolved for generations. But now that old unevolved program has evolved, and it's made a quantum leap to your smartphone. The Tourney Program smartphone program enhances tournament visitors' experiences by delivering information on their favorite device, their smartphones. The Tourney Program platform engages people in a way that no other media can. We can deliver your sponsorship or advertising message to our visitors literally weeks before the event even begins. What an advantage for you. And we have more options than you can shake a stick at. Evolve with the Tourney Program platform. Check us out today at tourneyprogram.com.
Welcome back to Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. I'm Randy Preston along with Carol McKee. And it's time.
It's time. It's time for the Junior Hockey Report.
Junior Hockey Report. Lots and lots of action in junior hockey around South Dakota the last week.
And you know, we have a lot of players from South Dakota that are playing junior hockey all over the place.
We do. We've got a lot of players playing Tier 3 in the North American 3 League. I know we've mentioned them all before, and I don't have my list in front of me today, unfortunately, but shout out to all of those guys, all those kids playing in NA 3 League, playing in AAA around the area. You know, I do have a little bit of AAA stuff here real quick. I did find some stats on the Junior Gamblers website.
Junior Gamblers.
And we've got one Sioux Falls player on that site who's playing right now. His name's Zach Bettming.
Okay.
Now, the Bettming family, they own the Milky Ways here in town, and Zach played for the Sioux Falls Flyers. He is currently in 4th place in scoring on the U16 midget minors, the Green Bay Junior Gamblers. It's a lot of words. He has so far played in 34 games, has 13 goals and 11 assists.
That's fantastic.
It's absolutely fantastic.
And you know, anybody that's ever played in South Dakota, once you played here, you are Hockey 605.
You are. Now, and I do have a quick shout out to a player who's not quite South Dakota, but awfully close.
Okay.
He plays in Laverne. He's from Laverne.
Okay.
Family's from Laverne, Minnesota. That's, you know, I'm sure they have some people with 605 area code cell phones.
And I bet they've played in tournaments in South Dakota.
They sure have.
So
and it's
a
family friend, so I'm gonna shout out Logan Damagala is playing for the Green Bay Junior Gamblers in that U16 as well. Logan's played in 31 games so far for the team, has 5 goals and 6 assists, and 11 points total.
That's great.
And 72 penalty minutes on the year. That's the Logan I know. All right, and
racking up those numbers.
Racking up the numbers.
Well done, Logan.
And then just one other quick shout out to a couple of our girls, our ladies that are playing out there down in St. Louis. We've got the two that are friends, I guess, and great Hockey 605. First, Jenica Reitzman, who's playing down there, has played in 9 games so far, has 4 points, 1 goal, and 3 assists thus far.
Outstanding, Jenica.
Jenica, love you.
We miss you, but we're so happy you're having this opportunity, Jenica.
Absolutely. And then Hannah Muchakanals is also playing in that same team. Hannah's also played in 9 games, has 6 points, 4 goals, and 2 assists. Once again, a shout out to Hannah and to her mom and dad and all. They've got 3 kids playing in juniors, or in juniors and AAA right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's,
what an honor.
Yeah, what an honor.
What an honor, what a big bill.
Lucas playing up in the Tier 3 League. Nathan's playing for the Junior Stampede. And Hannah's playing down here at the St. Louis in the Junior Lady Blues.
Outstanding. Well, kudos, Hannah. Keep up the good work.
And Dan, I salute you, man. I salute you. All right, moving on to the North American Hockey League.
All right.
Once again, we had a repeat weekend of the previous weekend.
Oh, but flipping it around?
Flipping everything around. Instead of playing, they played in the exact venues as they did the previous weekend, but they flipped nights.
Okay.
Okay, so
well, at least there's some change.
Yeah, they're just doing things to mess us up, I guess. On Friday night, the Wings did travel down to Brookings to play the Blizzard, so our 2 South Dakota teams met again. Rematch at the Larson Ice Center. The Blizzard took a 1-0 lead into the locker room at the first intermission on a goal scored by Ryan Sett.
Okay.
In the second period, Colton Schmidt scored for the Blizzard early in the period to give the home team a 2-0 lead.
All right.
So it's looking strong for the Blizzard.
It is looking strong for the Blizzard.
But the Wings came flying back.
And then what happened?
Ronnie Hind and Tanner Okeson would each score a goal for the Wings to tie the game at 2 halfway through the period.
Okay.
The Blizzard's Bo Machad scored with 5 minutes remaining in the period to give a Blizzard a 3-2 lead, which they took into the locker room at the second break. So it's still looking good for the Blizzard at this point. Third period was all Wings, all Aberdeen Wings. Kyle Hawk scored 5 minutes into the third, followed by a power play goal from Tanner Okeson, his second goal of the game. And then Austin Heekins scored an empty net goal with less than 30 seconds left to give the Wings a 5-3 victory and 2 standing points.
Oh, you always hate to have that happen when you have a lead and it gets taken away.
Eric Hancock took the loss in goal for the Blizzard. He stopped 25 of 29. Andrew Shortridge, he netted the win for the Wings, stopping 20 of 23. So once again, it was an interesting night. The Blizzard was really looking forward to getting that win to get them up above 500 on the season. Didn't happen. Didn't happen.
But it sounds like it was a very exciting game.
I watched a little bit of it on Fast Hockey. It was a really, really good game. So, on Saturday night, the Aberdeen Wings traveled back home to the ODI Center. They battled the Bismarck Bobcats. And the Bobcats got on the board early with goals at 2:22 and 4:52 of the first period, taking a 2-0 lead into the locker room at the end of first intermission. Very quickly. In the second, the Wings scored a goal by Colin O'Neill at the 2:06 mark, so early in the second. And then just 50 seconds later, the Bobcats took back the momentum with a goal to bring the score to 3-1.
Okay.
Michael Saucier of the Wings scored a power play goal at the 13:13 mark, and then that was it for the scoring for the Wings at the night. The Wings, or that was it for the second, I should say. The score at the end of the second was 3-2 Bobcats. Wings tied the game early in the third, got a goal from Colin Hughes, and then Bismarck came right back again and scored 2 more goals quickly. 5-3 Bobcats at the halfway point of the third. The Wings' Colin O'Neill got a goal, so that made it 5-4, and then the Bobcats would score an empty netter at the end of the game to a 6-4 loss for the Wings. Andrew Shortridge took the loss in net. He stopped 25 of 30 on the night. So kind of a tough night, but you know, the Aberdeen did pick up 2 points, standing points on the weekend.
Yep. So
back to Brookings.
Okay, back to Brookings.
Except, well, back to Brookings. They got on a bus and drove to Minot.
Okay,
and
that's right.
They took on the Toros again, the Minot Toros. Game was really a goaltender battle. Scoreless first period. Minot would score 2 in the second period, take a 2-0 lead in intermission. Blizzard would battle back in the third, got a goal from Alex Popa at the 6:02 mark.
Okay.
They pulled the goaltender with 1:15 remaining, unable to score, took a loss 2-1.
Close in there though.
Yeah.
That road win would have been really nice.
It would have been nice. Kubik stopped 30 of 32 in the 2-1 loss. Now both Aberdeen and Brookings are on Christmas break right now.
Okay.
They will be back on New Year's Eve for a tilt against each other in Aberdeen. So
get the house rocking on New Year's Eve.
There you go.
You know, and speaking of our junior hockey teams, what a great idea for Christmas. I've had people ask me, you know, what do I get my boss for Christmas out in Rapid City? And I said, go get some Rush tickets.
Oh,
yeah, get
certainly.
them some Rush tickets. It's a great opportunity, and what you're giving them is much more than tickets. You're giving them a great memory.
Yeah, certainly.
So, especially if you know someone that maybe doesn't know a lot about hockey, hasn't really experienced it, give them the opportunity to experience great quality hockey.
Well, and I know that the tickets for the Blizzard and the Wings are not expensive by any stretch of the imagination. Stampede has a great deal every year with their Easy Books. For 10 tickets for $99. It's good for Stampede games or Canaries games.
Oh, that's right.
And what a great stocking stuffer. You know, you go out and spend $100 and throw everybody a ticket in their stocking. I mean, and
maybe they'll all get together and you have another little family gathering.
There you go.
Friendship gathering.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's really a good time. Standings in the North American League. Not a lot of change.
Okay.
Not a lot of change. Minot still leads the league. 43 points. They got 2 victories over the weekend. Austin is in second place with 42 points. They played 3 games in the last week.
Wow.
And picked up 5 points. Bismarck is in third with 33. Aberdeen and Brookings bring up the tail. Aberdeen did pick up those 2 points on Brookings, so Aberdeen has 30 points and Brookings has 25. But still a lot of hockey to be played. They typically play a 60-game season. They're pretty much right at the halfway point at this moment.
Well, we know what's on their Christmas wish list.
Yeah.
Points. We'll add them to ours too for you.
All right. Moving on. And I promised you last week I would talk very briefly about the World Junior A Challenge because we had a Sioux Falls Stampede player playing in that tournament up in Canada.
Oh.
Dakota Joshua played. Dakota.
We love Dakota. Don't know him, but love him.
Yeah, he played for Team USA in the World Junior A Challenge tournament. Team USA took the gold medal for the tournament. They did win the entire thing. running the table, victories against Switzerland, 2 victories against Canada East team, and then a 3-2 win in the final game over Denmark.
I'm kind of feeling bad that you didn't tell me about this so I could bring some flags to wave. So I'm waving my imaginary flags.
Go USA, USA. Yeah. Dakota did end the tournament with 2 points on 2 assists on the tournament. So once again, shout out to Dakota. We're actually looking forward to having you back here for the Stampede season.
Yes.
We could certainly have used you in the last couple of games. But glad you had the opportunity, and I know you're back home in Dearborn right now. Shout out to Dakota.
And a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, moving on to the herd.
Okay.
Stampede. They played 2 division rivalry games this last weekend. I shouldn't say the weekend. They played on the week. They played a Wednesday night game here at the Denny in Sioux Falls. They took on 3rd place Des Moines.
Okay.
And played an interesting game. It was a little rickety, I'm going to call it. You know, I'm running out of adjectives. No, it was a very interesting game. The first period was a little bit blah, not a lot going on. But after that, it just kicked it into high gear, and it ended up being a really, really good game. So, Des Moines scored the only goal in the first. They took a 1-0 lead into the locker room. Stampede rallied back in the second with goals from Kiefer Bellows and Troy Loggins and Lucas Bukta.
Ooh.
So they had Des Moines also scored a goal in the second, but Sioux Falls took a 3-2 lead into the locker room at the end of the second. Third period, very evenly played. Herd got another goal from Lucas Bukta on the power play. He drilled a low shot from the point and got it under the goaltender's pads. It was a beautiful, beautiful play. Let's see. Bucks did pull their goaltender. You know, they were down at 2 goals at that point. They pulled their goaltender with 3.5 minutes left in the game.
It's a little early.
Well, you'd think.
Okay.
But
I'm not a coach, but
yeah,
that sounds early to me.
And I believe the first part of it was on after a Sioux Falls penalties. They were actually skating 6-4 on the ice. 6 skaters to 4 for Sioux Falls, and they couldn't put it past Stefanos Lekas. Lekas, he ended the game stopping 20 of 22 for the 4-2 win and the second star of the night. Bukta got first star then. But what a great game.
Yeah, way to go, Herd.
A lot of fun that night. I was on PA that night. I had a good time. I didn't have much of a voice left.
I'm surprised you have any voice left after that game.
But it was a really, really fun game to watch. Friday night, the Herd travels up I-29 to Fargo to take on the Fargo Force at the Scheels Center in Fargo.
Okay.
Stampede had a tough night in what really appeared to be kind of another nervous game for them. They only got 24 shots on goal for the entire night. Couldn't figure out Force netminder Matthias Israelson. Israelson's been a thorn in the Stampede side now for 3 years. This is his 3rd season playing for Fargo. He was probably the main reason that Sioux Falls didn't make the finals of the Clark Cup 2 years ago.
Okay, so we put on our Christmas wish list a trade for him?
A trade, yes. He stopped all 24. Stefanos Lekas took the loss, stopping 17 of 19.
Okay.
So it was a tough game, maybe a tired game, maybe a nervous game. It's time for everybody to go on Christmas break. And I do know that the Stampede had actually packed up their locker room and had all the kids packed up and ready to leave Saturday night when they got back from Fargo. So,
you know, and these kids are young, and they undoubtedly miss their families, especially as the holiday approaches. So that's understandable.
So it's Christmas break right now. Started yesterday for the Herd. They do come back middle of next week, right after Christmas. Okay. They have a game, 2 games next weekend. They start a 9-game homestand at the Denny on Saturday, the 27th. They have 9 in a row at home, and then I think it's 13 or 12 of the next 15 games are played in the Denny.
So that ticket package you were talking about earlier would be a great gift.
Great gift.
All those home games.
Yeah.
I can put that on my list along with that Oahe Capitals.
So they've got the setting here of a Fargo game on the 27th. That's at 7:05. Sunday the 28th, they've got an afternoon tilt against the Musketeers with a 4:05 start. Okay. And then there's a New Year's Eve game on the 31st at 6:05. So the next 3 games have strange start times, but it's all good.
Okay.
In the USHL, with the loss to Fargo, the Stampede and Fargo flip-flopped in the standings. Sioux City leads the West with 33 points, Tri-City with 30 points. Des Moines has 29, they're in 3rd place. Fargo is in 4th place with 27 points. Omaha has 26 points in 5th place, and Sioux Falls is in 6th with 25.
All right.
So that whole middle group, once again, is very, very tight. Very tight. So lots going on.
Lots going on in hockey.
Yeah.
Happy hockey days to you. That's been going through my head all the last couple of weeks.
I certainly understand. Well, we had a great time this week traveling kind of all over the state, looking at different associations between the 2 of us. In the last week, we've hit, I don't know how many rinks.
Quite a few.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll be doing a lot more in the future.
Yes, I'm looking forward to more. There's rinks I haven't been in yet, and I can't wait to be there.
That sounds good.
We'll keep live streaming those games.
Perfect.
People seem to enjoy those. Got some interviews up from this weekend.
Yeah.
We're gonna get one of these days when you have time. We're gonna have you do some of the interviews.
Oh, that'd be all right.
So,
that'd be all
fun.
right. Well, just a quick shout out to a few of our associations, particularly across South Dakota. When we are doing these reports for our associations, we are scouring the association websites, their Facebook pages, their Twitter feeds, and really any source that we can come up with. And so if there's not an update on one of those sites, we really don't know what's going on.
We can make stuff up, but that wouldn't be right.
Probably not. So what we're asking is if you would like your team covered on Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice, drop an email to Carol at Hockey 605, and she will take care of getting it in that report.
We want to share your good news about hockey. We're here to help build the sport and grow the sport. We love it just like you do. So get us that news.
Absolutely. And here's to everybody with frozen feet. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a great time. Thanks for watching Hockey 605's This Week on the Ice. We'll be back next week.
All right.